on the move. Yes, we're a little late, and that's all because of me. That's okay. Here we are. Let's get into this. A lot of things going on. Lots happening right now. Good to see y'all. I'm going to get us set up here on the board, and then we're going. It's Sunday. God bless all of you. I've been in class, as you know, if you were here last Sunday. So I'm watching Church Online right after this because, again, I was in class all day. OSHA, the OSHA class I was taking. Good, God, nothing but great things to say about it. Where do I find the home page on here? Where do I find the home one? Don't tell me. OSHA. And I got a quote I want to share with you from a friend. I didn't ask him if I can say his name, but he's getting to retire soon. Great dude.
That's why you can say it, because he's going to retire soon.
Yeah, maybe when he retires, we'll get him on there. On this blessed Sunday. How blessed are we? Through wisdom, let me start over. Through wisdom, a house is built. And by understanding, it is established. A wise man is strong. A man of knowledge increases strength. And just coincides with, he sends like word of the week. And they're all good. Every one of them's good. I always want to copy them and talk about them and share them. But this one really struck me differently, and because that back to school, right? Taking this OSHA class is not in school, not taking college courses. This is bigger. Through wisdom, a house is built, and by understanding, it is established. A wise man is strong. A man of knowledge increases strength. So all kinds of knowledge, not just book knowledge, not just classes, not just certifications, but knowledge in general. What?
You're the one who wanted to switch the spots at the last minute.
So yes, if you notice, if you've been with us for a couple of weeks, we did switch sides. Only because I want to show the M14. You know I love that M14 behind me. I'm getting this up. Say hello to whoever's here, but good evening, y'all. Look I see Heavy J. Oh, I just moved the whole page.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, I got it.
Jay's here.
Heavy J, I see. Greg, thank God. We're Lima Charlie, Heavy J. Carl Green, Semper Fi My Friend, Cece, and family. I can't wait to talk more about the class I've been in and just the people involved in it. David Bryant. Was there a schedule change? No, that's just me running late, brother. I apologize. God bless you and your family and the troops from Freedom's quadruple 7. Amen, brother. Bless the troops. Terry Donikowski. What up, Ski? Semper Fi. JTB's here. What's up, brother? David Bryant saying hello to everyone. Greg, I don't know why, but I look forward to this every Sunday. What do you mean you don't know why?
Me either, Greg. You and me both.
There's some good stuff. I'm telling you, fired up. Got some good stuff. Let me read this quote again. From a fellow Marine, veteran, getting ready to retire soon, killing it. Him and his wife. Through wisdom, a house is built. And I'm paraphrasing a little bit. And by understanding, it is established. A wise man is strong. A man of knowledge increases strength. Amen to that. And again, multiple facets of knowledge. Degree. I worked on my degree after my active duty time because, you know, active duty, you got them blinders on. And some of us don't think about anything after the Corps. It's 100% mission. And how can I make everything in front of me better? Never thinking about myself after the Corps, after I hang it up for the last time. So that's where I'm at now. Kind of being a little bit selfish, going back to school. There's ain't nothing wrong with that because I given everything to the Corps and still am. So yes, Heavy J. I Belittled and degraded a peer of mine. I reported myself to the skipper waiting for their actions. Is that humility or personal accountability? Wow, okay, Heavy J. Belittled and degraded. I think it's a little bit of both. He asked, is that humility or personal accountability? So 100% holding yourself accountable is the hardest thing for any man to do. Any person, but definitely men, to hold yourself accountability. And is that humility? Yeah, I don't I don't know if I've ever had that much humility. I'm trying to learn it. So I think it's both, brother, and I think that's amazing that you can recognize that. But I think it's both, accountability and humility. Haven't been real good with humility myself. And now that it's a leadership trait, I'm going to get better at it. David Bryant, nailed it. Greg, we know why you're here. Now become a member. All right, there's a producer. Amen. Carl Green, RAP to the 6 who didn't survive the refueling crash, the KC-135. If you don't know, now you know. There was 6 that lost their life during a refueling accident, KC-135. So rest in power, all those service members. Gave the ultimate sacrifice. Doc is here. What's up, Doc? Good evening, Sergeant Major and producer. Mike 300 is here. Greetings, all. Legal Eagle 1075, 1979 checking in. It was a 75. 1975 to 79. What's up, Mike? Good to see you. Glad you're here. 08, got contracted combat support. Any idea how or when I'll know about which MOS I'll be assigned? Contracted. Okay, here we go. This what you're in the perfect place. Contracted. Combat support. Any idea how or when I'll know about which MOS I'll be assigned? I don't, but your recruiter does. So hound your recruiter to let you know. And unless something has changed, where's Gunny at? Unless something has changed, you'll know the occupational field, the OC field, the OCC field. You should know if you're going to be 0300, 1300. That's the occupational field. Your specific MOS will come to you in boot camp. So you if you're an infantryman, you sign up as an 03XX. By the end of boot camp, you'll know if it's 0311, 0331, 41, 51, whatever. So you should know at least your occupational field. Call them and ask them that. In fact, text them right now. I'm sure you guys text. What is your occupational field? And if you know what you want, 0300, 1300, let them know. This is what I want, and this is what you need to get me. Producer says, absolutely to Carl. Selfless, sacrifice epitomized. Amen. Amen to them. Bless them.
Carl just did an orange smoke pop.
And orange smoke pop already, Carl Green. Amen, brother. Amen. Appreciate you. Prayers up from Doc. Terry Ski says, so you need that canteen cup to drink out of. Come on, Rod, now. I do. Like I'm still using this one.
Switch hands or the mic in the way?
Is the mic in the way?
Sorry. Looks like right here.
Should I move it a little bit to the right? Bulldog is here. Hurrah.
Can you put the cup on that side?
G Money.
Or is the other side going to show?
When I served in the 80s, I worked for a staff sergeant who every year had to go swim qual. Have things changed since then? Yes, there's one of the topics today. Swim qual has changed recently. There's 5 categories now. Did you see anything about follow-on training with that, with the new swim qual categories?
I did not research.
Yeah, we didn't research that part of it, but that's how it was supposed to be. Bulldog. Big Arm. What's up, Big Arm? Dropping my mandatory like. Big Arm. Good to see you. Biggest Arm. That's right. Heavy J. Short of all of it, I saw the wrongs on my side, but I decided to get that slap on the head. Report myself. I'm not afraid of what happens. I just want to know what is going to happen. I don't know. I mean, where do you work? And I guess that your HR probably has a lot to do with that. But I mean, personally, if I was your boss, I mean, that's something you recognize it and you owned up to it, held yourself accountable. That's enough for me, and you learned from it. Or did you? I just hit live chat and everything disappeared. Yeah, it came back. All right. Sweet Love and Will is here. Good evening. Hi, my guy. I'm George from South Sudan. How are you doing? Good, George. Thanks. You look familiar from eyes. Hi. How to join Marines? Go see your local recruiter ASAP. If you're not from the USA, you got to get in touch with a recruiter. All right. Good to see everybody. Welcome. We have some topics we're going to talk about tonight. It is Sunday, so God bless all of you. Thank God for our many blessings. We got tons to be grateful for. Tons. I want to start by showing you a coin from a motivator. We worked together way back in Okinawa time, the Staff NCO Academy. This dude is beast. Awesome Marine, awesome friend. Remember, I don't know who remembers, but the best compliment my dad used to tell me about people is if you can say someone's a good man. That's it. Simple, you don't have to elaborate. That's a good man right there. Well, this guy's not only a good man, but after being a Marine for years, I think the best compliment is he's a good Marine. That says it all. That's it. Simple. He's a good Marine. He's a good man if he's not a Marine. If he's a good man and a good Marine, he's a good Marine. Because if not, you're going to hear, yeah, he's a good dude. Yeah, he's cool. You're going to hear all those other things with like there's going to be a but at the end of it. He's a good dude, but, and if he's a Marine and that doesn't come out first, something's wrong. In my opinion, that's how I use it. So if you're a Marine and I know you, and I don't say that's a good Marine right there, you know, roundabout ways. So this guy, this is a coin he gave me, and this again, Okinawa time was like over 20 years ago. With social media, we don't you know that this is social media that we do is YouTube, but with the capabilities even before that. I don't even know if he does. I think he does Facebook, but we have kept in contact over the years. And if we don't talk for a year, when we do talk, it's like we just talked yesterday. That's the kind of dude this guy is, this kind of Marine he is. So the camaraderie, the love is there. Joke back and forth. We send each other memes and stuff. It's one of those friendships, that one of those brotherhoods that'll never die. And him going on he's on the East Coast, so being in the East Coast, he knows I'm an engineer, backbone of the Corps. Saw this coin because he has friends on the East Coast. Let me show you this side first. Let me know if it comes out. One, look at the size of this thing. It's like a weapon. For one, it's heavy. And how cool is that? Let me show you the backside. Check this out. 2nd Marine Division. I was the 1st and 3rd, right? West Coast. 1st and 3rd, California, Okinawa, Hawaii. Those are the 1st and 3rd divisions. It's got all the units in there. Awesome coin. And the letter he sent with it and a little plaque that goes on it, it's just like URAH. That's what the Marine Corps builds. That's the camaraderie. I'm going to show this real quick because it's huge. And this board, let me know if you can see it, if it's too much. Let me just, surfboard, we're not surfers, but it's the meaning, skateboard. Oh, I keep saying surfboard, sorry. We're not, we don't shred the pipes in the swimming pools, but the meaning behind the design and the painting and why all that stuff is huge and meaningful. And that's the kind of camaraderie that we build in all the services, I'm sure. I'd like to think the Marine Corps is just a little bit fanatical about our camaraderie and our brotherhood and sisterhood. And the facts, this channel's proof of that right there. So I forgot to ask him too if he minds me saying his name or a little more about him, but I'm going to eventually have him on this channel. Awesome Awesome dude. Can't thank him enough. How about that coin? You know, I'm a coin guy. It's not going to fit in your typical coin display case. So I got to do something with that. All right, for real, these guys saying, I want to join the Marines. I want to join the Marines. I'm not a recruiter, so you should contact your local recruiter and get after it. Stay on the channel because we talk about everything, what you need to do prior to going to boot camp. Because we can lead you to water, but we can't make you drink. However, what I learned over the last couple of weekends is sometimes you got to make them drink. You got to. That's part of it too. So it's a cool saying. People say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Some people need to be forced to drink. You know what I'm talking about. It's kind of what they do in boot camp. And then you got it. Then you're on your own. Then you got to do it all yourself. Heavy J, we have a representative from every branch enlisted, active force, retired, but we're still short one Space Force Guardian. Waiting for it. I'm with you, Heavy J. We're waiting for it. They want to support Paul Canton. They want to deport him after 7 years of honorable service as a leatherneck to his nation. Please contact your congressman. Paul Canton, do we know about that? I'm going to write this down, David Bryant. You know, producer stole my pen. I got it. She just looked up Paul Canton. What's the deal? He's from New Zealand. He's been in the Marine Corps. He didn't get a citizenship while he's a Marine. Man, in the 90s, that's when it was. I think it was easier back then. Many Marines early in my career, whatever rank I was, I got to go get my citizenship. I'm getting it today. That happened plenty of times. I know it's a little more difficult now. Man. Doc, what advice would you give families when the Marine deploys to a combat zone? I'll wait for the rest, but what advice would you give families when the Marine deploys to a combat zone? Support. Anything they need, let it, just like in boot camp, write to them. Combat zone is different. You can send them packages, necessary stuff. Don't send them baked cookies and send them butt wipes, jerky, just the necessities. They'll have access to all that soon, but right off the get-go. If you have a family member that already left for deployment, get care packages together right now and just support them 100%. And similar to boot camp, don't send them any bad news if you have any. Pray to God you don't, but if you do it, nothing. Let them focus, let them concentrate on what they got to do. We all knew there's going to be boots on the ground. That's a fact. That's why Marines join the Marine Corps. They're 13 years old. Can he join the USMC? Nope. Give it to the recruiter. 17 is the youngest. Go to the recruiter. Yeah. How to prepare. Here's what we say all the time on this channel. First and foremost, to be a Marine, you got to be physically fit and mentally tough. All the other aspects of that will become if he's that young, JROTC, Civil Air Patrol. Get him in some kind of military training now. JROTC money. Definitely prepare him or her. JROTC. Find it. And if your high school doesn't have one, find the nearest one that does. You can join. Most cities and states, you can join a different program if your school doesn't offer it. So get them in a JRTC program. PD, what's up, PD? Good to see you. Best compliment I ever received from a Marine I served with on an LOR. If he ever returned to the Corps, I would seek him out to serve with him in either combat or garrison. That's good. That's awesome. PD. And I don't know about you, but I'm waiting up for that phone call. They're sending Marines. The ship already took off. They can fly me onto that ship. I'm ready to go. My favorite from one of my RSs on the drill field comment in Section I was similar to that. Kimi Cocoa Puffs is here. He said, the tenacity of a bulldog. That's what the RO wrote in the Section I comment. So it was pretty cool. I was a young sergeant. Has the Marine Corps abolished the MP field. They have not. G Money. Funny you ask that because did I do it short or did we talk about it? I think we talked about it because we have some MPs in the House. David Bryant, corrections. The conversation we were having was about not just MPs, but corrections, right? How many Marines are being taken up in corrections in the brig with minor infractions, pre-trial confinement? When we can pull them out of the brig, the Marines, the corrections Marines, and put them on the battlefield. Is that an area that not abolish MPs? No way in heck. I love seeing the MPs at the gate, even patrolling the areas. But what about the corrections Marines? Blackbeard, 67 years old, still young. And I wish I was back in the Marine Corps. Me too. I lost my close friend in '83 at the embassy bombing in Beirut. Sorry to hear that. We'll pray that he's resting in power. Blackbeard, I'm with you. I'm ready to go too. Carl Green says no, only used in specific areas. Talking about MPs. Semper Fi 7212. Mike, interesting situation. Can anyone explain why the 1st Marine Division is California while the 1st MA is in Japan, 3rd Marine Division is in Japan, and 3rd MA is in California? No. Haven't never even. All I know is the 2nd are all on the East Coast. 1st and 3rd, that's why I've served in 1st and 3rd my entire career. But weird that it's like that. Dave Ryan's talking about food already. Ready some jalapeno cheese.
What to send in the field?
Huh?
What to send in the field?
What to send? Oh, that's why you're saying it, David Ryan. What to send to the Marines deployed? Yeah, some jalapeno cheese. Some, you know the deal. Some, I'm telling you, butt wipes and jerky are the best. But yeah, some jalapeno cheese. If you have access to, that's what they're going to eat for a while, is just MREs for a couple months until the Army comes in and establishes they're going to build a chow hall and barracks and swimming pools and stuff, coffee. Petey Stone, Mike, they do it just to confuse us. Yes, with the divisions. All right, 2nd Battalion, 1st Marines, URAH, 2-1. All right. Couple topics. Again, OSHA 30, I can't say enough about it. Amazing course, amazing instructors, just knowledge. I'm telling you, I was explaining it to anyone I can talk to, and it's just such an eye-opener, especially as a combat engineer. There's an engineer in the class where's Lay Cookie? All these, because there's no accidents, right? That's the basis of the Corps. There's no accidents. It's really negligence, right? Because you know not to stand on the top rung of a ladder. You just know not to reach over. Most of it is so much common sense. But what gets in the way? You're on a project. You have a deadline. You got supervisors, managers saying, we got to get this done. So instead of coming down and putting on a harness because you're going above 10 feet and all that stuff, you're going to do it real quick. Right? Let me just reach over. I should get down, move the ladder, tie in, and do all those things. Let me just reach over. And that's when negligence happens and people are unalived. Too many. And ladders, as I mentioned that, because that's the number one fatality is from ladder injury, falling off ladders. And how many times you think back, especially older men and women my age, how many times have you been on the top rung of a ladder? Been on a 40-foot ladder on the top, putting Christmas lights up. I mean, just those little things. I'm just going to do it real quick. Is it being lazy or negligent? Well, I mean, whatever the reason is, don't. Right? And my younger self, if I could tell my younger self anything, somebody asked my 23-year-old self, it would be safer. Thank God I made it out of some of the things, the recklessness that you do out of pressure, maybe from your It's got to get done. This is not the right forklift. We need a bigger one. Just make it happen. Can you just lift me up in the forklift? All those things we did as young Marines, thank God we made it out alive. So OSHA, I highly recommend OSHA 10, 30, any safety you can get into. Safety's everywhere. Everyone's a safety officer. Facts. All right, Bryson Baxter. We got a 45 in the house. HE, another one, crane operators. I'm telling you, saw some stuff that really makes me think back to projects that we did and how dangerous we were doing them. Bryson Baxter is about to go in the Marine Corps basic training. Any advice you can give? And did you go to San Diego Parascience? San Diego, where they train real Marines. MCRD San Diego. Doesn't matter. Get after it. Physically fit, mentally tough. Be ready when you get there. Don't expect them to do everything for you. Be ready. Physically fit, mentally tough. And as much knowledge about the Marine Corps. Go to your Poolee functions. If you're a Poolee, go to every single Poolee function. And when you have time, go hang out in the recruiter's office and ask questions. Be prepared. Randy's here. What's up, Randy? Ellen and I went to Quinn's today. They're working on a formal invite. What's Quinn's? Doc. Kimi. Doc's calling you out. She's finally off on a Sunday. Well, look what the cat dragged in. Kimi? Hey, everybody. Hey, Ellie. Hey, producer. Will, significant number of veterans do not obtain or try to get a VA disability rating. What advice do you have about this situation with veterans that's been out decades ago? Go to the VA ASAP. You deserve it. You earned it. You rate it. Whatever word you want to put on there, that's yours. That disability is for you. So if you have some ailments right now that happened decades ago, it is never too late. It's not too late. It's never too late. Go. You're not taken away from anybody else. If you don't receive that compensation, that money for your hearing loss, your sleep apnea, your bad back, your bad neck, your bad knees, if you don't receive that, it's going back to the government. They're not. That was the biggest thing for me. I think a lot of veterans is I didn't want to take away from a double amputee. You're not. They have their own pot. You have your own pot. And if you don't take it, you don't accept it, you don't put in for it, there ain't nobody getting it. So get your rating. Go see the VA. G Money, is it possible, check this out, is it possible for a Marine to do a 20-year career and not serve in a B billet? Yes. And you hear the disdain in my voice, because I think every Marine should, at least one. If by chance it was out of your control, I got no problem with that. But you definitely should do a B billet. It just makes you a more well-rounded Marine, right? There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It doesn't matter what B billet you do. I think every Marine, I think it should be mandatory for you to make it to 20. And it doesn't matter which one at all. I have no problem with which one. All right, Carl Green, Randall Knapp, Kimi. Mr. Rainbow loves coffee. I love coffee too. Sending love from Israel. Thank you for your support, hard work. Thank you for your service. Thank you. Appreciate that very much. All right. My recruiter was scraped up. All right. Great question, though, about B billets. Yes, they're available. You don't have, not that you don't have time. Using a lot of air quotes today. You have time. You got to make time. Make excuses for what you want to do in life. So you have time to do a B billet. Don't duck them. And you got to be aggressive. If you don't want to do recruiting, that's the biggest one that they have to volunteer people. So if you absolutely don't, put in for DI duty, put in for MSG, put in for combat instructor, put in for those. And I highly recommend you do them early in your career as a sergeant, newly promoted staff sergeant. Do them because it makes you a more well-rounded Marine from the get-go. But can you go to 20 without? Yes. You can go 30 without. You can become a sergeant major with no B billets. How does that happen? All right. PD, if I can go back, I would have put in for MSG. PD, I'm with you. One of the regrets I have is that I didn't get an opportunity to do MSG. I just ran out of time. Right? There's so many other things I was doing, a lot of deployments, so I wouldn't trade it for a deployment. But if I could have squeezed it in somewhere, I would have loved to have gone on MSG duty. Carl Green, have you done any confined space training in OSHA? Yes. How scary is that? Confined places. Of course, we saw the mishaps, the fatalities in closed, confined spaces is crazy. And a lot of those times, most of these videos are from foreign countries. Very few were from the USA. Thank God, I guess, but and maybe they're just not as readily available as the other countries, but a whole bunch of explosions and people flying out of the small enclosed space or just passing out in the confined space and electrocuted in confined space is scary. I'm not claustrophobic, so I can be in those confined spaces, but doing the kind of work that people do, welding, electrical, cutting, all those things is dangerous. Carl Green, I'm telling you, this whole OSHA thing completely opened my eyes. That was his name, El Devco. I'm missing it. Oh, that was his recruiter's name? Yeah, the comments are flying in, everybody. So if I miss you, I apologize. Shannon, I bet people guess your age wrong all the time. I meant that as a compliment. You call me old? You call me old or young? Just medically retired, 35, 31. URAH. 35, 31 Motor T? And you just got medically retired? Hope all's good. Lance Meyer. Hello, Marine. URAH. Hello, Lance Meyer. All right, I think I'm caught up. Am I caught up? That was one of the topics. The new swim qual. There are 5 new categories because didn't I just do a short about it? About the non-negotiables. If you didn't see the short, check out the short. Non-negotiables. It was a waiver short about waivers. I always say, I love saying it. There's a waiver for everything. Maybe I abuse that because just because you can put in a waiver doesn't mean it's going to get accepted. But you don't know unless you ask. So I kind of try to tie it into enlisting. There's a lot of, I don't remember the number, 70% of high school graduates are unqualified for the Marine Corps because of medical and physical fitness. It's the biggest, like 70% right now. So yes, I did a short on that prior to. What is wrong? How are high school students not physically fit enough to join the Marine Corps? Yes, the Marine Corps is hard, and our physical fitness level is that much harder. Got it. But just to get to boot camp, they're not even qualified to join. So it is a problem. And then that's when the other thing was a waiver. Ask for a waiver. You're not going to get a waiver for the PFT, right? Because that's being a Marine. You got to be physically fit. And then I tied it into the non-negotiables in boot camp. Rifle range, PFT, and swim qual. Those aren't waiverable. If you want to be a Marine, you have to pass those. If you fail in boot camp, they're going to retest you, and then eventually drop you back and let you try again, let you get more training and try again. Some people take longer than others. Not a big deal either. But you will pass or you won't graduate. So those are the non-negotiables. And there's some, obviously, some non-negotiables throughout your career, but you'll never know unless you ask. I'm talking about tattoo waivers, maybe medication waiver, some kind of medical waiver. There's ask the question, get a second opinion, no matter what your MOS, right, or your ship date, waive it, ask for a waiver. While you're in the service, ask for waivers. This is what made me do it. More on social media, you see the videos of the beard. Well, I'm not shaving this beard for nothing. Well, then you're going to be punished for violating that beard order regulation that you knew prior to going in. And I only use beard because I just watched the video on it. And funny, it was a soldier. When he shaved his beard and got a real haircut, he looked freaking moto. And it even changed his attitude a little bit. He said, all right. And he looked like a bad mama jamma. So soldier, he looked like he was ready to get some. So it's, why would you, my question on the short was, you know the regulations prior to enlisting. You know what you can and cannot do, and you got a little bit of common sense. You know those regulations, so why would you wait until you graduate? You go to your A school, whatever the Army calls it, your MOS school, MCT for Marines or SOI. Get into the fleet, and all of a sudden you want to have a nose ring or a neck tattoo or a face tattoo or a beard, or you want to have a mohawk. Why do you want to do those? Why do people want to do those things who against regulations that you knew and you signed for and you swore to uphold and defend? All these regulations, then you get into the service and say, that's it, I'm growing a beard, and that's all there is to it. You can't tell me no. Yes, they can tell you no, and they will. Height and weight standards. Whatever the regulations are when you enlisted, pretty much the same. Are there changes? Yes. Tattoo policy changes all the time. So those policies do change, but you are required to follow those policies until it's changed, or unless it gets changed. Write to your uniform board, write to whoever's in charge in your service, maybe petition, start something to get it changed. Not just defy those orders. That's all you're doing. And then these people get mad when they're held accountable, and they blast the Army, blast the Marine, whatever branch of service they're in. The Army sucks. I can't believe it's just a beard. I'm still work as hard. What? Sure, got it. But follow all the rules, not just the ones you want to follow. All right, I'm off my Foot Locker. No waiver for stupidity. Bulldog, amen. Brother, you can't waive that. Man, we're all still boots. Yeah, I got to get caught up. Bulldog is because you can't fix stupid. Army would take me because I have gauges in my ears. They wouldn't take you because you have gauges, heavy J. Could you join now? And prior to going, you knew you had to let your ear hole close before going. That's probably what the regulation is now. I see you have gauges, come back next year when the hole closes. So be careful when you do stuff like that. But then when you get in on active duty, you're E3, E4, don't put the gauges back in because that's not how you got in. All right. Sergeant Major. Some people make that one thing their whole personality. Again, Marine Corps has one personality. It's Marine. All right. I was just told to stop Sergeant Majoring. Which is better, Marine E9 rank? E9 rank. Come on, Nick Olinick, too. Everybody knows that. Love the master guns. Should I feel bad about getting a medical discharge and not being about to finish boot 3 weeks left? Depends on what the medical discharge is for. But no, you shouldn't feel bad. If it was out of your control, you were giving it everything you got, and it was something medical out of your control. Shannon, been watching your content for a long time. Huge fan of your content. Thank you for all you do for our gun club. Appreciate you, Shannon. Thanks for being here. Become a member. You can turn green, right? You get to use the emoji. Somebody put up the emoji. And Wednesdays, we go, for those that don't know, Daniel Frank, Nikolai, that's all I can see on here. Shannon. Those of you who are not members, Wednesdays, we go Wednesday, members only live, Wednesday. An hour later than we go on Sunday, but we go members only. And you get that hemoglobin anchor.
Nice work, Heavy J.
What did Heavy J do? Heavy J. I had to do surgery for those gauges. Best $400 I spent. Didn't get it, but I look better rather than ragging. Amen. Heavy J, you got to do what you got to do. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want? Oh, and there's the emojis. For those who are not members, check out that power. Those look good. Those look good on here. Mark, thank you. Carl Green, thank you. Thanks for putting them up. Randy, don't join if you don't like the standards. Amen, brother. Screenshot that and send it to every high school. Don't join if you don't like the standards. Wasn't done. Can you adapt to the world, or does everyone else have to adapt to you? That's what these people think. Yes, I read, I signed, I swore in 2 times at MEPS, and now that I'm in, I want to get a face tattoo. Doesn't work like that. Nikolai, you need to hang out on this channel a little bit longer. Which is the better MCRD? Again, everybody knows. Which is it? And it's typically, Nikolai, on a serious note, typically Nick. It's Nikolai. Nikolai? Am I saying it? How about Nick? Nick, it's primarily based on where do you live, east or west of the Mississippi. But there's special cases that people have, whatever. But typically, east or west of the Mississippi is where you go.
Waverable.
Waverable. Everything's waverable. Producers on it. If you're legacy, you can go to wherever in your family, and you can. And when I made that East Coast, west of the east or west of the Mississippi, I had a whole bunch of comments. Well, I live in California. I went to Paris Island, so it can happen. Daniel found out I became anemic. Wow. So out of your control. So should you feel bad about that? No. And I mean, it's not because you didn't want to. It's not because you quit or gave up. That's when you should feel bad, if you quit boot camp or if you give up and not give your very best. So sorry to hear, but that's clearly a disqualifier. Where's our class clown, Jared? David calling him out. Where you at, Jared? Where's Carrie Ann Marie? Where's Ray? Y'all working? It's Sunday. Jasmine, USMC Hollywood. That's right, baby. Hollywood. AJ, become a member, get your very own EGA, and that baby turns different colors the longer you stay. PI in July. That's got to be miserable. Bulldog. Is that when you went, July? Are there really sand fleas? And are they really that bad? It's coming from a San Diego Marine. Marines here. PD, only standards that bothered me during my time in were the tattoo restrictions under General Amos, or warriors. Warriors tattoo their body. I'm with you on the tattoo. You see I'm not all tatted up, but I have nothing, absolutely nothing against them unless they deface our country or talk bad about either inappropriate, of course. Gang ones, no need for all that. But tattoo all you want. My drill instructor, no, our first sergeant he had sleeves. Sleeve tattoos, beast mode. And he was amazing. He was amazing. First sergeant, 3rd time being a drill instructor on the depot. He was amazing. Are you a Marine? Are you a Marine? Are you a Marine? Pro. Let's see what you think. Gifts. Carl Green, thank you, brother. Look at 5 of you. Just got free gift memberships. Appreciate you, Carl. Chris, Toby, John, Barry, Young Ma. Young Ma, what's up? You been here before? I'm in Wisconsin and we go to San Diego. Do you have a favorite MCRD? I love them both because they make Marines. But I'm a San Diego Marine. USMC Cece, our daughter, Paris Island Marine. Bulldog 848, big guns. Thank you for those, Carl. I'm here. I'm multitasking. Jared, multitasking. Careful. Sand fleas. Third hat said that's discipline hunting. Hurrah. I've been to Paris Island twice, not for boot camp, to watch somebody graduate. Never saw a sand flea. I got to see one to believe it myself. And as little of discipline that I have, I think I would have been in trouble if I was a Paris Island recruit. Even a drill instructor, I'd probably be slapping them. If you have to ask, you don't know. Dave Bryant, I'm with that. JT, don't forget, before you go to MCRD recruit training, get that bulldog tattoo. Yeah, funny. For those that don't know, I did that. I was that dummy that did that. Got a bulldog tattoo on my back, all buffed out, wearing camis with an M16 A2 service rifle, smoke coming out of the barrel, cut off camis, bulldog face, dummy. Don't do it. Don't do it. Wait till you graduate. I get thrashed by every single drill instructor, senior drill instructor, officer, chief drill instructors, first sergeants, sergeant, everybody on the depot, right? The messmen, right? Maintenance crew, everybody thrashed me for having a bulldog tattoo before I became, oh, you think you're going to be a Marine already? Took like 3-4 days for it to get out at receiving, that final inspection they do of your naked body. Because they tag all your tattoos, birthmarks, whatever you have. And once that got out, it was over. Everyone gets sleeves. I'd rather have pants. I've seen some pretty cool leg tattoos also. I am a fan of tattoos, so I don't have, I have one or two, but honestly, but I got nothing against them. I wish they would be a little more common sense with the tattoo policy, right? But you should all, kids, be smart before you do it. And I didn't get any of them where you could see because I didn't know what I was going to do in the Marine Corps. So I didn't know if I wanted to do MSG or if I had to present a professional appearance. So just to be positive, because that's on there forever. Well, I need a laser or whatever, but just be smart about it. Got canceled out. Jared, the profile pic is back. Is that daylight savings? Arizona. You got called? Called out. All right. Let me get caught up. I'm sorry. Herman Amy, who wasn't reading the comments. Yes, the Marine Corps photo is back. Hurrah. Hello from France. Well, hello, Marie. Thanks for being here. JT, you thrashed a recruit for having one. What, a tattoo? JT, calling me out? You know I'll find any reason to thrash anyone. Skin so soft keeps the sand fleas away. That's what I've heard. So really, that's Paris Island's claim to fame. Sand fleas, really? Ain't no Mount Mother. It's all flat. I've been to Paris Island, it's all flat. How hard could the hikes have been? Did your recruiter warn you about bulldog tattoo before shipping? Wow, PD, no one's ever asked me that. I'm guessing my recruiter didn't know. I don't think I told them. I didn't tell anybody at the recruiter. And I don't even remember.
Did you kind of get it right before you went?
I was a Poolee for like 11 months. So sometime in those 11 months is when I got it. My brother, thank you, got it for me for my 17th birthday, or just for re-enlisting. I don't remember now. I have to ask him.
You got it before boot camp. You didn't re-enlist.
Yeah, no, I got it before.
Was it for re-enlisting?
Oh, before I enlisted, I meant. Yeah, I definitely got it before, obviously, for my birthday. All right. There's an old school bulldog wearing a World War I helmet. I thrashed him for it. Good. The nerve of him. G-Money, we had a guy show up receiving barracks with a mohawk. He caught all kinds of hell. I wish I could imagine the tattoos. I'm telling you, out of nowhere, free time, we'd be chilling, spit shining boots. Remember old school spit shining boots, something ironing camis. All of a sudden, boom, the hatch was up. Where is he? Where's that dumb mother who thinks he's a Marine already? And after all, I was like, and I just start walking to the quarterdeck. I knew I was getting thrashed by somebody. Heavy J, in a strange way, I don't understand getting inked heavily in service. The USMC is known worldwide electrified. Yeah, people's personal preference. If it doesn't interfere with their jobs and duties, ain't no Mount Mother. Right, Parasaline. 1980s, MPs weren't allowed to have twos. And that's exactly my point. You don't know what you're going to do in the Marine Corps. So talking obviously to the younger ones getting ready to join any branch of service, MSG, you can't, right? You can't have sleeves. You can't. The rule has always been that I don't think this part has ever changed. Below the wrist, above the neck. Don't do it. Just don't wait to see what you're going to do in the Marine Corps, what you want to do after. What if you want to become a professional something? How many radio or TV announcers do you see all tatted up? Or is it, and nowadays, who knows? Yeah. Mr. Rogers, remember Mr. Rogers? Allegedly, sniper, he had sleeves. That's not true. Oh, if it wasn't me, it was Sergeant Bryant. Yeah, Sergeant Bryant was beast mode also. Hannah, I have actually been active and learned a lot from your channel and had also used what I've learned here to teach my colleagues about weapons. Yeah, we don't talk about weapons that much unless we're talking about my left and my right. Federico and Pepe. Are those their names? Since how years are you a Marine? My whole life. I was born November 10th, 1775. I'm retired now, though. Ed Creedon, what's up, Ed? Good to see you, brother. How's everything? Look at all those red Eagle Globe and anchors. Can't beat our Mount Mother, right? Randy, and you imagine being a drill instructor having to do it as many times as we did it as a recruit and then as a drill instructor. Oh, Hannah, as a soldier serving Nigeria. We had our first Marine Corps ever registered just this year. Nice. Air Marshal, that'd be cool. What's the difference between Marines and Marines and Army? Crystal, you better hang out here for a little bit. We all know America's 911. That's what the Marine Corps is. Hang out. Maybe you'll see the difference between the Marines and everybody else. All right. Where are we at? We didn't even talk about the swim qual because now I want to know the follow-on training for swim qual, but you know you have to pass swim qual to be a Marine. So get in the water. Get in the water, get comfortable, get confident in the water. Really, it's all you got to do. But now there's 5 classes. I think when I was a recruit, there was 4, 3, 2, 1, 1 being the highest. After the Marine Corps, you could go for WSQ, Water Survival Qualified, and then MCIWS, Marine Corps Instructor of Water Survival, something like that. That's after the Corps, or after boot camp. So for boot camp, you got to be at least the bottom class. Now it's like beginner, intermediate, advanced. So there's 5 classes now, and I'm guessing you can probably go to the second class, highest in boot camp, only because of time. They just got to get everybody to pass first and then pursue it after. The short I did about it was, do we do enough training after? And there was requirements. If you were a 4th class, say you had to recertify every year. If you got up to 1st class, maybe only every 2 years. A WSQ, I think that was good for every 3 years. So that's really, and I'll look it up later. We'll talk about it later, but find out what the follow-on training is. My point was, I don't think we do enough water training in general. Even if it says every 3 years you'll recertify as a WSQ, I don't think it's happening. It didn't happen when I was in. Not obviously, but it did depend on the unit and the deployment cycle. right? Half my time on active duty was deployed. So we had to fit in training, rifle, pistol, swim, PFT, now the CFT. We had to fit those in in between deployments. So it's tough to get them in. So what is the follow-on requirement now for swim qual? That was the whole purpose of it. Marie, is it very complicated to keep a family with children a distance in your work? Good question. I tried my very hardest to never bring work home. Two different people. And you don't bring work home, and everyone says, oh, you got kids. And even my kids' friends are like, oh, your dad's a tyrant, and you got to make your rack every morning and sound reveille and PT. Nope, and nope. It's different. Keep your work at work and your family at home. PD, first formal PT session on Paris Island in the dirt field behind 3rd Battalion. Went back to the head during our first hour personal time and counted all the sand flea bites. I had 83 on my right arm alone. So, man, that's tough. So, yes, I guess they are pretty bad. 83. I mean, I could probably handle 80, but 83. It's got to be bad. It's got to be, I'm guessing, certain times a year, right, are probably worse than others. Certain times of the day, if you're in. Yeah, and I don't even get mosquito bites. So I'm guessing the sand fleas, they can't penetrate the skin. I just don't. Mosquitoes, I'm not sweet enough for mosquitoes. Producer, they love her and her blood. From Mark Hankins to Marie, the Marine Corps is very supportive of families, but you can be away from your family. So yes, you're going to be away from your family. And yes, Mark, beautiful. The military in general, I'm sure all the branches of service, they definitely take care of as much as they can. And as much as you allow them to, they definitely take care of the family. Right, Bulldog? How much could a sand flea eat, really? Can't be that bad. I wouldn't. I'm telling you, I have discipline, right, when it comes to combat and training and all that. But for sand fleas, I'd be that guy. I'd be that recruit getting smacked all the time. All right. Stick to the plan is another thing. I don't know, did I see that in a video in class this week? Stick to the plan. Maybe in the gym. Oh, you know what? I think it was a shirt that I saw. That's all it said. I love seeing what the beasts wear at the gym. I always they always try to wear some kind of course, I wear a SFMF shirt most of the time. But I always read people's shirts. I always had Gym Shark and excuse me, there's one I like to see all the time. It says, "Make America Lift Again." I like that's the personality of that gym rat. Gym Shark, I think, is even a company now. Those are pretty popular. Gym Shark. See some weird ones, but I think that's what this one said. Stick to the plan. Stick to your plan. Stick to the plan. That's all it said. So it could mean anything, right? He's in the gym. I'm assuming it meant in the gym. So stick to your plan. I was trying to relate it to the Marine Corps, to the channel, to your family, to your workout routine, your diet, whatever you're doing, stick to the plan. I think on the front I would have, because then I'm thinking about what would be a better shirt than that. Stick to the plan, or one side should say, have a plan, and then the other side say, stick to your plan. So I think a lot of times we humans give up on that plan when it gets a little hard, right? Things aren't working the way you think it is. The journey that you're on, easy to quit or give up, right? Tell this story all the time. I don't care what kind of machine gunner you are right now. because you're not going to be the very best. You just joined a unit, you're a PFC, just got a SOI. I'm ready. I want to get some. Well, you suck at shooting. Doesn't bother me. It's when you want to quit or give up, when you don't give it your very best, when you don't have the character to become the best machine gunner in the Marine Corps. So if that's your plan, to be the best machine gunner in the world, stick to your plan, right? Have a plan. On the back says stick to your plan. So don't quit or give up on anything that you do. And you can apply that to whatever your plan is. But too many times people, I'm not quitting. I'm just changing my plan, right? They don't say that like that all the time. I hear when I worked in JRTC, I'm not quitting JRTC. I just don't want to do it anymore. Well, okay, that's okay to not want to do it, but finish what you started. Don't quit something halfway through. And this goes for anything, any one of your goals. You make short-term goals, right? So you can hit those goals, and maybe you can change your mind then. After a football season, after your soccer season, after boot camp, after JRTC, after band that you took in high school and you realize, I hate this. Finish it. Finish what you started, because quitting, it's only band. I'm just JRTC. I don't like it. I want to quit. No, I don't like it, but I'm going to finish what I started and then change after. It's when you don't stick to the plan midway. That's when quitting becomes a habit, right? Going to the gym in the morning. Going to the gym. I'm on this quest. My New Year's resolution was to work out every single day of the year. We're in March, I don't even know what today is, March 14, 15. I've worked out every single day. I haven't taken a day off. Can I do it for the whole year? If I can't, it's not going to be because I changed my plan. It's not going to be because I quit or give up. It's going to be uncontrollable why I can't go that day. And even when we were driving to Texas, that's a full 24-hour drive. There ain't no place to work out. So while I was pumping gas, doing push-ups on the bumper of the truck, and that was my workout, because I told myself my plan was to work out at 365 days this year. No excuses. And there is none. You don't need a weight room to get a workout in. Stick to the plan. Stick to the, huh? Come on, baby, finish what you started. That Van Halen, David Lee Roth? It is, David Lee Roth song. All right, let me get caught up again. If I missed you, I missed you. Sorry. Here he goes. Evening, sir. I'm transferring from, I'm thinking you want to say Navy, from BACY, that's a typo, to the USMC. Will I get smoked for being prior service? Yes. You're going to get smoked because you're joining the Marine Corps no matter where you were. Yes, even so transferring from Navy to the Marine Corps, will I get smoked for being prior service? Yes, 100%, guaranteed. Any prior service that I had as a drill instructor, I had this Army guy, he was older than me too. So when I called him old man, he was like, no, I think he was 31. He was 31, I was like 24. So yes, he was an old man. He was from the Army, arty guy. He turned out to be a great recruit. But yes, I smoked him specifically because he was prior service. So yes, look forward to it. But you'll also be ahead of the game. You've already served. You kind of know what to expect. Hang out with us. You have an upper hand. So good on you. And get after it. But yes, you'll be smoked. If you don't get smoked extra for being prior service and being Navy, I would be disappointed in those drill instructors. Hurrah. AAH, our series honor man was prior service Navy. There you go. And that's the benefit. You're more mature. You get the system. You know how to march. You know your left from right. So you're going to have an upper hand. So use that to your ability. Don't try and hide that you were prior service either. That's when you're going to get thrashed. Be proud of it. G Money, are you ever recognized in town, restaurants, airport, etc.? Rarely, G Money, very rarely, but depends on if I'm in a military town. But I have gate guard the other day as soon as I rolled up, and this is like 4 a.m. Like he got excited. Just saw that it's 4 a.m. Ain't no gate guard excited to be working. It was cold. He said, I watch your videos all the time. As he took my ID, I don't even know if he checked my ID. And luckily I had a sticker on me. I was like, no, I appreciate you. Thank you. So very rarely G money. Jared, I don't work out, but I'm a gymnast. Well, mental gymnast anyway. Gymnastics, mental gymnastics. Right there, Kimi Coco Puss. Screenshot that. You get smoked for breathing. That doesn't mean stop breathing in boot camp. But yes, you better get smoked. Jared is here. Oh, thanks for joining us. 31, an old man. Yes, he was an old man at 31. Now 31 is so young. The sun has risen, the sun has set, and I ain't been through Texas yet. That's that drive. If you know, you know. Yes, you can drive for 24 hours and still be in Texas. Love it. AAH, Anchors Away. Shipmate, we're glad you're joining the team. Good luck in boot camp, and please keep us posted. And if you don't get thrashed extra when you come back after boot camp, I want the names and ranks of all your drill instructors. Not that I could do anything. Jason Geiger says, I bet Paris Island is already scorching hot. What are we in March? Is it hot already over there? Who's near South Carolina? Is it blazing already? Sure it is. Slim Shady. Bro, still waiting on that call. I'd love to chat and talk to you before I try lat transfer back into the Corps. How is that coming? And the producers set me up for success. I have the emails, the phone number, all me. Still all me. And I'm going to blame this OSHA class, but you make excuses for what you want to do in life. So I apologize, Slim Shady. And that's what it is. I went over our conversations on email, trying to get back in. And it's the same thing. Good on you. I don't know if you talked to a prior service recruiter yet. Have you done that? That was going to be the first thing I tell you. Talk to a prior service recruiter. Now this whole conversation is coming back to me. That's what, first and foremost, talk to a prior service recruiter. Talk to your recruiters and get a contact for a prior service recruiter. But Slim Shady, I promise you, brother, you're on my docket. I finished OSHA class today. By the way, did I tell you I finished it and I graduated? My card should be coming soon. Jared, been here the whole time, but I was listening and not reading comments. In the middle of selling my farm, and my cousin wants to buy it, so I've been busy with paperwork and junk. Selling your farm? Can we ask you how big it is? I won't ask you how much, but how much or how big is your farm? And is there animals on it? Awesome. Jared, where is your farm? And where it is. And if you want to share why you're selling it. So I want to buy a farm. With farm. Empire Acres, Arizona, about 35 miles east of Tucson. 35 miles east of Tucson. Yeah, I'm sure we pass it when we drive to Texas. When we drive through and pass right by Lake Cook's house and don't stop. We don't go that way. Wait, we don't go that way. Lake Cook, if you're here.
Like when you pass that part, the southern part, is he off the 8 or the 10?
Off the 8 or 10, Jared. Greg Tucker, it's warming up at MCRD Paris Island, 3rd Platoon, 3052, summer 1985. All right, get some. Greg Tucker, good to see you. Glad you're here. Mark Hankins, appreciate you, brother. OSHA 30, I'm telling you, it was great. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. Go on the OSHA website in your local area, see if and how and when you can get to an OSHA 30 class. They have OSHA 10, that's a day and a half, 10 hours or 30 hours. That's the difference between the two. This one was construction. I did OSHA 30 construction. There's OSHA 30 general. I want to take the general just to take it and put that on my resume. Also, most of what we learned in OSHA 10 was general. So take them both if you can. Only knowing what I know now, I'm glad I took construction first. Slim Shady, yes, sir. I've spoken with one. I have some medical checks I need to fill out by a primary care physician. Other than that, it's the 364 paperwork for the conditional release. That's even more than I know. It's the 364 paper. Is that you're talking 364 pages? Jared, no animals anymore, but 2 separate chunks. One 5-acre chunk, and an 800-acre chunk. Yes, Sarmid, you absolutely passed me. Off the I-10 of Tucson near Happy Valley. Producers looking at us probably right on their way. Slim Shady has OSHA 10 on them in the works for OSHA 30. Get after it, Slim Shady, especially if you don't get back in. And then I haven't taken it yet, and I may have talked about it. Lean Six Sigma. There's yellow belt, green belt, and black belt. I already registered for the green belt. And the way this guy does it, he's amazing too. And I'll ask if I can share his contact information on there. Amazing instructor. He does the yellow and green together. So the next 2 weekends, in fact, it starts next weekend. Did you know that? Already starts next Saturday, the green belt. So the next 2 weekends, I'll be doing the Lean Six Sigma green belt. So he does yellow and green all together. So in 2 more weeks, Lean Six Sigma green belt. Highly recommend it. That's what these corporate companies are looking for. What kind of certifications do you have? And there was a guy, he had a guest speaker yesterday, civilian, who went to college first, and then, or no, he went to work for a solar company. One of the big companies, I don't remember what it was, but a solar company, did that for a while in the field, thought that's what he wanted to do, realized he didn't, so he went to college first, and he took safety, something, health and safety in college. Graduated, and then worked in safety for that same company for a little while, got into the safety pipeline, and I think 2016 or 17, now he's a director of safety for an even bigger company, making crazy money with a corporate car, and he's got a whole bunch of directors. He's a director. He's got managers and professionals all underneath him. Just the safety pipeline is amazing. And I didn't know this either, well, because I never thought about it like this, but the safety community, he has a question. Do you think it's flooded right now? We have too many safety guys and not enough positions, or vice versa? Safety is very understaffed right now. So even if you're in your first enlistment, you plan on getting out, you don't know what you want to do, you're in high school, whatever, safety's not going away. In fact, it's only getting more intense. So it's a great career. Carl Green, 10 SFMF gift memberships. Thank you, Carl. News Kid, Tactical Llama, Carl Powers, Big Mike Chavez, Pumpkin Pie, X1, Cletus, The Nook, man, Rig Reynolds, Jays, Weatherford. Thank you, Carl, first of all. And if any of you are on here right now, check it out. Your name is in green. You just got gifted a membership from Carl Green. Appreciate you, Carl. Members, Wednesday is members only live on Wednesday. Wednesdays are pretty fun. Wednesdays only live. Your name is in green. You get an Eagle, Globe, and Anchor and access to a number of emoji. That's pretty cool. All right. Marcy, it's late here. Have a good day, sir. And everybody, your answers are clear and direct. It was a pleasure for me. Hear you soon. Bye. Thank you for being here, Marie. Appreciate you. That's what we're here for. This is what we do. We don't play. No drama. Spitting facts. Talking life. Thank you, Carl. All right. So to caveat more on the non-negotiables. What?
What time on Wednesdays?
Oh, what time? Somebody asked what time on Wednesdays?
5 to 7.
1700 Central? No, Pacific. 1700 Pacific. 1700 Wednesdays. 5. 5 o'clock for you civilians and some of you older Marines. Some of you Navy and Air Force. 5 o'clock p.m. Central. West Coast. 5 o'clock p.m. Wednesdays. We do it an hour later. Today we're an hour later just because I was in that class. But we do it an hour later on Wednesdays so you can get home from work. Oh, G-Money. Now I see it. It says what time on Wednesdays. G-Money, you got to join us. Wednesdays are a lot of fun. Jared says the cattle industry is really tanking, so I would encourage people to buy local beef as often as you can. I butchered my last steer about a year ago because the ROI is trash on cattle. Sorry to hear that, but we're big fans of supporting local. Not so much recently, we just haven't had the opportunity, but everybody see that, hear that from Jared? The cattle industry is tanking. Buy local beef. 2000 G Money, 1900 CST. Thank you all for adding those time hacks. And I'll tell you, G Money, put in your notifications, but those don't always work. We hear it all the time. It doesn't always work. 2000 Eastern Standard Time. 2000 Eastern Standard Time. So East Coast. Bobby Terry Thompson, era. Doc Holiday, what's up, Doc? Good to see you. Just got home. No worries, brother. No worries. We started late. I was in that class. But we're here. We have a little less than an hour to go because you know where we're going after this. Era. Bobby Terry Thompson. Tell me why you spell era like that. I have a story behind that.
Okay, when you see one before him,
No.
BW3149. Doc said just got home, and then there was another one behind that. Just to comment on the short.
No, because I'm on live. I don't see it. After Howdy Doc, Holiday, era.
Before that, Doc Holiday said just got home.
You might have missed it because you.
Was it above that one? It's above Doc, before or after Doc?
Just got home, family. Sorry. And then the next comment.
Isn't on there.
What?
Yeah.
Is he on live chat?
Yes, that's where you told me to be.
Oh yeah.
Live chat.
Hit those top 3. Yep.
We're working it. Or can we just ask that person to put that comment back up?
Just read it to him.
BW said, just comment on the short that led me to your stream. 18 years and hell no, you do not accept the cheeseburger from the TI.
It was a comment on the.
You're short.
It was a comment on the short I did about what do you do when a drill instructor offers you food. I don't mean chow hall food, not MREs. When he brings in a cheeseburger, right, some chicken McNuggets. He offers you food, walks around, you smell it when he's walking up the ladder well. You can smell that kind of food. That's how boot camp is. What did he do? He said, what do you say? Hell no. Do you take it? Do you take that food? And you're going to get thrashed. Know this about boot camp. You're going to get thrashed whether you say yes or no. So my point was, why not say yes? Eat it. Eat it. It's going to come up later anyway. But no, full transparency, I would never. I never did. And as the guide, I got tempted a lot of times with stuff, but no way. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a trap. Whatever he asks you, it's a trap. Yep, Doc. Horchata time. Church, I'm guessing. Who asked that question or who said that? About the Do you take a cheeseburger from the
BW,
EW?
B is in.
Oh, BW. B-Dub. I don't know why it didn't show up on mine for some reason. I
It was
apologize.
hidden.
Oh.
It said it was hidden, and
Oh.
when I unhid it, I think it has a couple, I don't know.
Yeah, who knows why it was hidden.
Die.
B-Dub.
They sound like a threat.
Got it though. Yeah, I'm with you. Don't accept it. My advice to any recruit, don't accept it. KG, turns out I'm color deficient. Got an 11 out of 14 on my PIP test, which is one off passing score, and can't go motor T, so I went security forces. I think that's probably better. I'm not a motor T guy, but I would choose security forces over motor T. Unless you really wanted motor T. How interesting. 1 point off, and you can go security forces. That's interesting. Randy, I take nothing from anyone in boot camp. That's good advice right there. Then the cheeseburger, thank him kindly and even offer him a hug. Jared, money. Take the cheeseburger and then offer him a hug of thanks. Yes, sir, I would love a cheeseburger. Thank you so much for bringing that for me. You can't say no if he offers you a horchata. Doc, it would have got me. I would have paid for it. The weight experience. Why do you prefer the M4 over the M16 platform? Smaller, shorter, collapsible stock, shorter barrel. 100% reason why. 100%. I can move. I can get it in and out of vehicles with it. Move door to door. It's shorter. A little bit bigger than your average, so getting in and out of the vehicles was a pain with the M16. That's it, 100%. And I like the M16 A2s, but the M4, collapsible, stock, shorter barrel. Jared, my giant hands have issues typing this tiny keyboard. B-Dub, there you go, I did. The guy before me got a nice run. I got gassed for 4 hours straight. You took it? You took the cheeseburger? Doc, here we go. Today in history. March 15, 1991. 1991. All right, now we're talking. Marines with the Marine Corps Heavy Helicopter Squadron return home after supporting Operation Desert Storm, flying heavy lift missions that helped move troops and gear and supplies during the Gulf War. HHS. I wonder if they flew me around anywhere. Heavy Helicopter Squadron. Nice. Appreciate you, Doc. 1991. Does it seem like a long time ago?
Can I share what you shared with me the other day about the first time?
I did. So, boots on ground. We know that's happening. The 31st MEU on his way might already be in the area of Iran. I was just doing the math. If I knew when they were leaving, I would have tried to sneak on the ship. First time in 40 years. Besides Kosovo, I forgot to tell you that. Kosovo was another small kind of Somalia type thing, but huge in all retrospect. First conflict in 40 years that I wasn't invited to. Been to everything from the time I joined, from the Gulf War till now. And the first time I'm not. So yes, was reflecting on that. 1991. Doc, appreciate you putting that up. Phone's still open. Phone lines are open. If somebody wants to call me, fly me onto that ship. 1991, I was 7 years old. Doc. Jared, what were you doing in 91? Mark Hankins, I met 5 Army Rangers that gave up all their rank and became Marines after Grenada invasion. Man, wanted to be Marines. That's it. Army Rangers. B-Dub, M4 is lighter. They both handled the litter box crap, though. bolt just as durable. M4 is lighter, but again, mine was more for the length. Yeah, look, if there's anyone here, not a Marine, but going to boot camp, don't take me seriously on hugging a DI. You'll get absolutely destroyed. Safety, you got to be safe, because yes, if you try to put hands on a drill instructor, yes, it will be bad. But yeah, so don't hug them. Bobby Terry Thompson, did anyone ever go apologize to a tree that you remember? Apologize to a tree? No, didn't have that. What did you tell me? B-Dub, did you, or Bobby Terry, did you say why you spelled era like that? I got a story behind it. Right, Doc? Jared changed his profile back to the OG.
Daylight savings time.
Oh, it's daylight savings time.
Sleeves up,
Sleeves up.
pictures back.
Jared's picture, yeah. They don't do daylight savings.
Oh, yeah, Arizona.
Mm-hmm. 5 years in the Corps, 1991. Randy, salty corporal at Gitmo. Another regret I have. I never made it to Gitmo. Again, I ran out of time. Jared, 91, finishing college early 91, and went to boot camp August 91. I went in August too, or no, I graduated in August. KG, wasn't planning on hugging him, but take note of it. One arm's distance. That, on a serious note, you got to maintain one arm's distance from a drill instructor. Almost got me in trouble one time for that, not maintaining one arm's distance. I might have had something to do with it. I was trying to get to a recruit, and everyone else, the recruits are all in formation. And I very urgently wanted to get to this one recruit. So as I was passing through the platoon, I may have closed that distance, and I had to protect myself. So I may have pushed a few recruits out of my way, allegedly. Carl Green, what I was doing in 91, sitting in a bar in Pattaya Beach, Thailand, on Liberty. Cobra Gold? Sounds like a Cobra Gold to me, Carl Green. I did, Doc. Jared says, this is my boot camp pick. Need to remember I was young once, and that pick helps. Sun's out, guns out. One arm's distance. That is, for safety, seriously. Again, I may have been the cause of not maintaining that one arm's distance. Got my point across, though, because you're supposed to part like the Red Sea, right? They should have been on their toes. They should have been thinking quicker when they saw me coming, like this. I was going to destroy someone, and they happened to be in my way. One arm's distance for safety, for everyone's safety. We're at the 30-minute mark. I want to talk about the non-negotiables throughout your career and even transition. So we talked about it in boot camp, non-negotiables in boot camp. You're going to learn leadership, discipline, selflessness, the leadership traits, principles. You're going to take written tests. You're going to take oral tests. I had one recruit throughout my time as a drill instructor, didn't pass the final PFT. Luckily, he passed the initial PFT. So there's systems in place for things that come up, but you must pass the PFT, rifle range, and swim qual, non-negotiables. Everything else is kinda, right? They're going to do everything in their power to make you basically trained Marines. That's while you're in boot camp. You might be down there a little longer than your average because of one of those things that are non-negotiable. So no waivers. Don't get that through your head that you think you can waiver out of the PFT or the CFT now, or the rifle range or swim qual. Not going to happen. Non-negotiables while you're active duty. That's where, the grooming standards, the height and weight standards, anything legal, anything medical, there's some non-negotiables throughout your career. Lap moves. There's some things, again, that are just not waiverable. Doesn't mean don't ask for them. Like lap move, we'll use that one for, or just a duty station. Well, you can't leave this duty station because you've only been here 1 year. Ask for a waiver. Probably going to be no. It's possible, but probably not probable. The non-negotiables are anything under the UCMJ, right? Again, grooming standards, height and weight standards, some non-negotiables that you just have to maintain that standard. Had a couple of Marines throughout my career, called it eating their way out of the Corps. They know height and weight is a non-negotiable. They drag it out for a year, sometimes 2, special cases even longer. But height and weight standards is a non-negotiable, unwaverable. So get within height and weight standards. Grooming standards, non-negotiable. Yes, there's been cases here and there. Those are the ones throughout your career that you must maintain. That's what you signed the contract for prior to even going. So you know what those are. Those aren't the things that you ask a waiver for, right? All of a sudden, you're 3 years into your contract, you want the gauges. We don't have them here. You want to change the uniform. You want to wear shorts as your uniform. Whatever the weird things that people come up with that they want to change. I think my haircut should be 3 to 6 inches. Or because of my religion, because of my beliefs, because of my heritage, I should be able to smoke peyote. Or whatever these things that people come up with, those weren't available to you prior to going in. Those are the non-negotiables, the unwaverables. So as long as you know that and understand that, and you sign the contract, right? USMC, you sign the mother living contract. And then once you get told no, if it's a ridiculous request, accept the no, and move on. Continue to fight. But don't go on social media and bash them. The Marine Corps sucks, the worst ever. All I want is a nose ring, and why can't I should be able to express my feelings with my nose ring, my face tattoo, again, all the things that you know are non-negotiable. That's how you deal with the waiver system throughout your Marine Corps, throughout your active duty time. And then what are non-negotiables once you get out? Your transition out. The transition brief is a non-negotiable. Is that brief? I'm sure, I got to believe it's getting better each year, right? More and more input is being put into it by service members that have already transitioned out, good or bad. The system can be improved, 100%. I still believe it can still be improved because you are still hearing stories. My transition was rough. Right. Next thing I knew, I was alone and unafraid, and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how to get my disability. I didn't know about my VA home loan. All those things are still happening. So that system is not proven yet. Things that should not be negotiable and they should make it mandatory. We talked to, I did a shorter, we talked about making copies of everything, medical, dental, SRB, OQR, every certificate, every promotion, warrant, everything you've received from the day you stepped on the yellow footprints, you should have hard copies of. So get all that, make the I Love Me book, and just continue to keep records. That should be not only mandatory, but it should be, again, a non-waiverable that the Marine Corps will give you this on your transition out. That should be part of the transition brief. Having staff NCOs who aren't even thinking about getting out yet, having staff NCOs attend the transition brief. What do they call it now anyway? Does anyone know what they call it? They don't call it tap and tamp anymore. Transition something brief. Security clearances, non-negotiable. It's a what? SEP's brief, transition brief. I don't know what they call it today, but it's the brief you get prior to it, and it is mandatory 1 year out. It's mandatory, which again clearly is a non-negotiable. But do they do enough for it? Is it is it enough? But no, there's also non-negotiables after you get out, is my point. things you must do. I think it should be a part of your transition to take you to start your disability claim. That should be part of it. Not only being told about your VA benefits, home loan benefit, but have you sign up to receive information from a loan officer who's familiar with the VA home loan benefit. At least now you have a point of contact, and they give you forms, they give you everything you need, but there's just more that they could be going to. Sergeant Major, Tupuola, checking in. Going for a special warfare assessment and selection June for one of the special tactic training squadrons. Good on you, Tupuola. Get after it. Going for a special warfare assessment. What does that take? Is it a board? You have to go up for a board? BW, if you know certain requirements may stand too severe or too difficult for you, don't take a position that you know this. If you know certain requirements may stand too severe or too difficult for you, don't take a position that you know this. So what you're saying is if you know they're never going to allow nose rings, what's that big thing they wear, that big cattle thing in between? If you know septum piercing, that'll never be allowed in the Marine Corps anyway. I don't know about the other services. It'll never be allowed in the Marine Corps. Never. Why would you try to take a stand on that? And I think we should be allowed to. Jim Borghini, sometimes I wonder if Delta Force Tier 1 guys are as bad as they are portrayed in films. I think they are. Any special forces guys are, that's where they get that's how the actors know how to act like them. I think there are some pretty bad, of all branches, any special forces guys, that's what they do for a living. It's just special forces. So if they're not, they shouldn't be in those special forces. That's what they do. They're not motor T drivers. They don't have to worry about anything else but being special forces. So I think they are. Doc Holliday. WW's back also. Doc, from civilian eyes, we see your strength. From civilian hearts, we honor your courage. Marines lead. We follow. Your legacy drives us forward. Hurrah. Money, Doc. That's awesome. We honor your courage. Marines lead. We follow. Our legacy drives us forward. WW, welcome back, brother. Good to see you, and thank you. Filed for back. Oh, you filed for back injury. VA never heard back from them. Hit him up again. But your reserves. Can you get disability? Is that for disability? WW, can you get that while you're still reserve? Yeah, I'm just thinking out loud. Oh, we're not J-Shock. Wait, who? Where's Rough Cat? Rough Cat is here. What's up, Rough Cat? How you been? What have you been up to? You been out of the field? 97 on the ASVAB. I taught you everything. Almost, because you didn't get a 99. Good on you. Why are you taking the ASVAB? Finally took the ASVAB and scored 97. Awesome. Do anything you want in the Marine Corps. Get after it. Let's go. Don't worry about any of those other contracts you signed. 97. That's awesome. Tell everyone your secret. Let us know right here. Anyone that has taken it or getting ready to take it or thinking about joining the service, how'd you get Rough Cat? How did you get a 97 on your ASVAB? Because I would have guessed you to be an ASVAB waiver. Just kidding. It's a joke that Marines use when you see that Marine that just eats crayons. 97. Good on you. Randy, I had no transition brief. My CO told me to stay in because everything was provided to me and my family. Orders yet to combat demands quick thinking and decisive leadership. Randy, I because of your gifts, it just moved all those, it moved your comment up. But thanks for the gift memberships. Get Froggy, Crip, Water Hose, Mojave, Fouled Anchor. Where's he been? WW, 5 memberships. Man, you guys are awesome. Todd, Jeff, Monty, Chubby, Randy. It was just kill. You could read so many memberships. Appreciate you guys. That helps a lot. Awesome. Jared said, must be a new kind of ASVAB. Well, you know Rough Cat too? Randy got a 97. No study, 0 effort. Randy, talking about transition, you didn't get a transition brief or you didn't go. It was mandatory, I know, when I retired. And it was one of those things that, I'll go. And I did. But if you remember, I went in Afghanistan. They had a transition brief in Afghanistan because I was retiring 30 days after I got back from Afghanistan. So how much did I pay attention to the safety brief and the 15 different people that got up there and briefed? And this is what you need to do when you get out. None. There's a secret right there, Rough Cat. Smartest thing you've ever said. My secret is being a disciple to Sergeant Major ATCC. Duh. Smartest thing you've ever said in all these years. Right. Woo, from the producer, thanks for those memberships. Haven't seen Fouled Anchor in a hot minute. Gat, what would you say to people who are thinking about joining? Don't think about it. Do it. If you have people say, here's a comment, should be a meme. If you wonder if you should join the Marine Corps, you probably shouldn't. If you got what it takes, go for it. My secret is being, all right, sorry, but did I need to read that again? My secret is being a disciple to Sergeant Major Cece. These memberships are, and some deleted. We got some trolls. Randy took college classes at night in high school. Damn, I wish I would have done that too. WW, how many years did you have in? I'm still adding up the years now. Rough Cat, a broken clock is right twice a day. Not sure if the clock is on you or me. I think of course it's on you. Doc, Sergeant Major, what separates a recruit who simply survives in boot camp from the one who truly earns a title Marine through mindset, discipline, commitment in the course? So there's plenty of recruits that just make it through boot camp. We need those too. I got nothing bad to say about those. As a senior drill instructor, or as a drill instructor at the end of the cycle, a kid comes up and says, "Thank you, sir, for everything you did for me." And you say, "Who the heck are you?" Those are good recruits. They weren't in any trouble. They weren't outstanding, and they didn't suck. Those are important. Those Marines are very, very important. That makes up a majority of the Marine Corps. Now, if you're asking about the ones who missed final drill because he was at sick bay, he was at dental, was at medical, constantly on light duty, barely passed the PFT, unk on the range 3 times, but finally qualled on his 4th try. There are those too, the 10%. You know who they are. That happens. What separates recruits who simply survive in boot camp are the ones who earn the title. So here's what I'll tell you, Doc, and this is not a politically correct answer. I only say if they walk across the parade deck, if they meet the minimum standards, they're Marines. They graduate, they're United States Marines, they've met the minimum qualifications. I got nothing to say about them. Now, if they don't meet the minimum requirements, they shouldn't even be able to hold the title. So have there been in 250 years some that didn't meet all the requirements? I'm sure there are. I'm positive there are. With politics the way they are, there's got to be some. Who's to know? It's what they do after boot camp, what they do with their career. Ones who don't finish their first enlistment, there's something to say about those. Where did they fail in boot camp? Why were drill instructors forced to push them through? Knowing that even if they met the minimum requirements, knowing that they weren't going to be a Marine to finish their entire contract. It costs like $30,000 to get a kid through boot camp and onto his first duty station. Hey, I can save the Marine Corps tons of money if you let me pick out those ones who aren't going to make their first enlistment. That would be the smart way to go, but way too subjective, right? It wouldn't work. So I believe the system works the way it is. Those that you're talking about, Doc, weed themselves out. It's just a waste of time and money. All right. 2-8 is in the house. Lost soul. If you're bored, intelligent, join the Corps. Barmy Cat, I'm wondering why I joined now with all these weird conflicts to defend your country because you're a patriot and you want to give back. It's a couple reasons. Best way from BW, best way to explain SF. It does not matter 1, 2, even soft 3 units are the absolute best at specific skill used for specific mission sets, no matter the tier. When you talk about soft units, yes. Again, any special forces units, no matter what branch of service, even the Air Force has their PJs. They're bad mother, you know what? Because that's what they do. They're designed, like B-Dub's talking about, for specific missions. So they're going to be amazing at that mission. But put them on a drafting and surveyor tool and try to level out some ground, they're not going to be that good at it. Because they're special forces, that's what they train, that's what they do. PDI was one of those recruits who just survived. I was on the wrong path as a civilian. They corrected me. It wasn't about being the best recruit. It's about being the best Marine. That's, Doc, that's what I'm talking about. Those recruits that make it through, right? Out of sight, out of mind. Congratulations. You earn the same title as someone who busts their butt every day, becomes company honor man. Both basically trained Marines. One might outrank the other one for a little while, but just because they just get through boot camp, they meet the minimum requirements, they could be the next Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. Oh, sorry. You're going to hear that. Oh, that's right. Have any of you guys met or served with the Marine named Jamal Herring? At least you gave his first and last name. Sometimes people ask me, you ever served with Mike? Barmy Cat, read the room, buddy. Anything to say on Special Forces? KG, where you been? I just been talking about Special Forces. Oh, Security Forces. Hey, know yourself, seek self-improvement. I didn't read it correctly. Security Forces. Anything to say on Security Forces? I wish I would have had enough time to do Security Forces also. I'm telling you, there's so many things to do in the Marine Corps. I just ran out of time. And Security Forces was one of them. MSG, getting a Getmo with Randy. It just ran out of time. So highly recommend Security Forces. Barmy Cat name checks out. Doc Sergeant Major says, or Doc, when Marines want to shift MOS, but does the ASVAB still hold ultimate power, or can be demonstrated ability and service records outweigh the score on paper? That's a good question. So if you do want to lat move from motor T to aircraft mechanic, no, I think that was one of the requirements. You have to be qualified for that new MOS, right? A couple of requirements to lat move. You have to do it on a re-enlistment. Your MOS has to be willing to let you go. The incoming MOS has to be able to accept you. The only way they're going to accept you is if you meet the qualifications. Color blindness, ASVAB, you have to be recommended. So I don't know if you retake the ASVAB. I don't know that part of it. But you have to be qualified for the MOS that you're asking to go into. Warrant Officer Candidate School, WW, shaped me into a leader. Amen. You served, Randy, you served with Mike 300? Dylan, Ebra. BW, my best friend put career MSG. They had to force him to retirement. He was career MSG guard, career master sergeant, Marine security guard. Randy, you and I in Gitmo with the Marine Sergeant Major, you would have loved it. I know I would have. And I got some real good friends that did go to Gitmo, engineers that were pulling out the mines. I wanted to go so bad. That's like one of the rites of passage as a real combat engineer. I never made it. Would have loved it. Wanted to. All right. Ooh, about 10 minutes out. Last topic I put on here is blessings. You know, Sunday I usually talk about blessings in the beginning, and we did. I told you about that was more of a leadership and a spiritual lesson I wanted to share. I'll share it again for those of you that missed in the beginning. Through wisdom, this is from a friend of ours that he gives us wisdom for the week, spiritual wisdom for the week, and just good stuff. Again, I'll get him on here eventually. But it says this: through wisdom is a house built, and by understanding it is established. A wise man is strong, a man of knowledge increases strength. And I cut it down just a little bit, but how powerful is that? Talking about, again, because I'm back in the learning environment again, which you should never stop learning. But how biblical is you tie it to that of a man of knowledge increases strength. So in a today's society, I talked Wednesday about the man clubs and the getting after it and getting thrashed for 72 hours, going through ice challenges and crawling through mud, and that's what men need. Also need wisdom, both in the schoolhouse and out of the schoolhouse. It just increases your strength altogether. But I want to end this one with blessings because of our deployed troops, Marines and sailors. It's got to be some Army and obviously the Air Force doing all the sorties. All the troops involved, and I've been saying this since the bombings did start. No matter what side you're on, bless the troops that are putting their lives in danger. We lost 6 more, right, because of that refueling. Of course, nobody wants to see that. And some people, you get some haters and whatever. Why would you join now just to go? Well, that's why. That's why we're able to have this live stream. Why we're able to do the things that we want to do. Even those knuckleheads on social media say the Army sucks, I can't have my face tattooed. They have the freedom to do that because of the ones right now on their way to harm's way, or the ones that for the past, what day? We're like day 13 or 14 of continuous sorties, bombings, and the technicians and the focus that those men and women have day in and day out for us. Right, I'm telling you, it's obviously I have a place in my heart, but it's the first conflict I'm not able to go to. So what can I do back here for them? That's the question. Just like Desert Storm, and to any Marine, I want to send a care package. I don't know where they're at and what they're doing right now, and not being in tune with it. You can't watch the news; you're not going to hear anything straight. Find a good social media outlet if you want, or don't. And sometimes it gets on me because I'm watching it too much. I just know that I pray for their safety, right? I want them to be safe. I want them to be aggressive and take care of business and come back home like they came. Safety makes me think of that. Going through this OSHA, I want them to come back with 10 fingers and 10 toes, right? All their limbs, their mind right when they come back, because they're going to see some stuff. They're going to be a part of some stuff that they may or may not be prepared for. They come back with the wounds that you don't see. That's the part that people just, you need to cut all the bickering and griping and complaining and bless those men and women that are going to fight for us to have the freedom to say those dumb things that some people say, or the motivating thing, whatever your thoughts are. Think about our brothers and sisters right now. Put your prayer, put your attention, put your focus. Prayer works, people. Prayer works. No matter how you talk to God, no matter how you feel about it. Those are the men and women who need our 100% support and prayers. Take politics out of it. It's impossible nowadays because that's one side or the other. It's so freaking divided. Put the men and women in your first thought. Put them in the forefront of anything and everything you got. Spare your feelings for a minute. Be unselfish for a minute and say a prayer before you go to sleep tonight, throughout the day. When you hear a plane flying over, or when you do see another ship is going, another crew. You got Marines out of Camp Pendleton. The Navy's taking them over there. Air Force is flying the sorties. Army are on them ships. There's our men and women are in harm's way. So do the right thing. Be the bigger person and say, yep, yes, politician, I hear you. Just shut the for a minute so I can focus on those defending our rights and our freedoms. That's it. That's my footlocker. Stood on my footlocker for a minute. All right. LZ inbound. Thanks, Carl. Headed down to Camp Pendleton tomorrow. 0861 Mikey to look for FSB. What is that?
Give a shout out to Fuji the Ghost. He said he's made staff sergeant today.
Fuji the Ghost made what? Made staff sergeant today. Staff sergeant board is out.
I'm watching football on this. Thank you for all your advice over the years.
Congratulations, Fuji the Ghost. Fuji, it would be with the J. The Ghost. Congratulations. Welcome to the Staff NCO Corps. Your life as a Marine is about to change. Get after it. It is. It's a big jump from NCO ranks to the Staff NCO ranks. Good on you. Keep doing what you're doing. You're obviously, you've done everything you need to do. Start looking at gunny now. See what you need to do to be a gunny. Congratulations. Happy for you. Absolutely. AGR. I'm telling you, WW. I'm telling you, I gotta get after it. B-Dub, appreciate you heading down to Camp Pendleton. Mikey. Oh, what is SFSB? Mikey. PD, 19-year-old squad leader and a 23-year-old lieutenant exercise more power and in spheres of greater influence and consequences than their fathers who have been working diligently their entire lives. Steve Pressfield. Discuss purpose and general mission of AMU, specifically 31st and the necessary units of support mechanisms for achieving the mission. Semper Fi, 9th Marines, 8385 USS New Orleans. So the MU, real quick, before I land this helicopter, before I dock this ship, the MU is Marine Expeditionary Unit. That's what's on its way to defend our nation, and that is a group of ships. It's something I'm not telling you any top secret, but it's the what is the detachment called? You can have an infantry battalion plussed up, about 1,500 Marines on the BLT, Battalion Landing Team. Those are the infantry. You can have an air crew. Yeah, about 2,500 from Camp Pendleton. So those are infantrymen. Those are air wing, the air wing, a specific air wing, a specific infantry battalion, and the group, the MSSG. Those are all the other MOSs. Some of you would say POGs. But it's combined arms. They can't do anything on their own. The air can't do it without the infantry. Infantry can't do it without the group, the POGs. So again, whatever you want to call them, everyone needs each other. That's what makes up a MU, Marine Expeditionary Unit. The Navy takes them over there. They go over there. They kick butt, take names, and then come back home. So that's what we're blessing. Doc, thank you. God bless all men and women in uniform. Fire Support Battalion. We got everybody on there. Artie. You got the mechanics. You get the cooks, the motor T. Everyone's on those group of ships to go get some. That's what we do. If you go ARG, you will actually be back now active duty. Oh, see? WW's on to something. If I were to be in the...
Carrot right there. Go.
The 3rd Littoral Battalion. That's not who went this time, but the new Littoral Battalion is infantry battalions combined. Doc, here we go. And I got to land this helicopter. As a civilian, being here makes me feel part of the Marine family. My boy's a combat engineer, URAH, sapper, backbone of the Corps. Proud, relentless, unstoppable, URAH. Engineers up. MSG 31. Appreciate y'all. Thanks again. Great Sunday. Great being with you. God bless you. Keep, please, our men and women in your prayers and keep getting after it. And we'll see members. We'll see you on Wednesday. Everyone else will see you on Sunday. Gen Pop. Semper Fi, my friends.